I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Anastasia Nevermore joins us. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. Please introduce yourself.
All right, I'm ana-nevermore. I'm a VTuber, coder, voice actor, really just a jack of all trades. So, trying to find my way in the world.
Mm,
Hi.
yeah, wow. Well, you've already got me beat. I'll just give the show to you.
Jeez. Oh no, I couldn't possibly run a show with everything that I do already. I think personally, you're already just as impressive as me. Don't
Oh
worry.
well, I'm going to take that as pure flattery because I know it's not true, but I will take
Oh no, no,
it.
I don't lie. I know I'm a demon, but I don't lie.
Sure.
Oh,
But I do appreciate you coming on. How long have you been doing the VTuber thing?
I've been doing it kind of like everybody like has been from the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I used to stream in Flesh,
Mm-hmm.
and um, because of the pandemic, I had like a lot of issues going on with like home life.
Yeah.
I think everybody did, but like mine were extremely highlighted.
Mm,
And I remember back in the pandemic, I was a little bit on the poorer side,
yeah.
and we had like a bunch of things going on. And I had like a skin condition,
Mm,
really terrible skin condition that came out of like all of the stress and whatnot.
yeah.
And it's better now, but like
Have,
basically went to VTubing to hide my face.
yeah. That's I have a condition myself that gets worse in stress. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, and it manifests itself in all sorts of different things sometimes. Um, so so with this switching over to VTubing, did you kind of get a bit sense of more comfort being on, or were you already pretty comfortable with being on the microphone?
I was always comfortable with microphones and stuff like that. I have a background with being in a band.
Mm,
I also have a background with just being in choir and like performing on stage.
mm,
For like this was all like during school,
yeah,
so I don't know if it even counts anymore. But yeah,
it counts.
but so you know, when it came to like the performer, the entertainer part, I was already like given that bit of a comfort.
Hmm.
And when it came to the camera, I've always wanted to model. I've done a little bit of it before.
Mm,
So I was just comfortable. So when it came to the condition, I know like a lot of people are going to see someone who has like bandages on their face or like, maybe like a little rosacea and like wonder like, hey, what's up with you? And
right.
maybe be like a little bit, because not to be like that guy, I think people want to be able to look at somebody, and I didn't feel very confident at the time with my skin condition. So
Yeah.
I felt that this was the best solution. It was something pretty to look at. And, it's a little bit of innovation.
Yeah, it is, and it gives you a chance to. Um, I think a lot of people think that's this anyway when they tell me about it. It gives you a chance to kind of ex- explore explore new ways of being yourself. Is one way to put it.
Yeah.
You're still you, but you're also got that little extra confidence shield in front of you.
Yeah. It took a lot to get that confidence up, I won't lie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been on stage before. You're doing voice work, that type of stuff, but still, from what I see, that the VTubing community, you when it's one on one and it's live or one on several in the chat, it it's a different animal. Is that true for you too?
Um, some days, yes,
Mm,
definitely.
yeah.
Because I feel as if VTubing is definitely you're an entertainer first and foremost,
Hmm.
and the skill you have in a video game or whatever, and like let's see, there's also puppeteering involved for your model.
Yes.
So you're doing a lot at once, and then you're also talking to people, you're interacting with people, you're trying to make sure that people feel welcome, you're trying to make sure that people understand that you are just a welcoming entity that really wants to put their best foot forward
Mm-hmm.
in the VTubing space,
Mm-hmm.
because not everybody's going to turn out to be like Iron Mouse. A lot of people graduate, so what you want is to really make the best impression while you can
Mm-hmm.
before you eventually have to graduate, or you just feel like you haven't made that progress.
Yeah.
So
Or you're
yeah,
just done with it. I mean, some people just are finished. They've done what they wanted to do, and it's not bringing them what they want to bring at the moment.
yeah,
So one of the great things I've been able to do with talking to all these folks is that everybody's got different stories and reasons why they're doing it, different types of talents, and everybody it celebrates the differences in people, which is always a good thing I think to do.
mm,
Even in today's environment, I think it's still
very much.
I think it's still a good thing to do. Were you see by your own admission? So you were kind of a theater kid.
A little bit. I can't lie.
Mhm.
Oh man, you caught me. But uh,
Right between the eyes.
oh no, whatever will I do? It is obvious. I can deny it no longer. I'm a bit dramatic, aren't I?
Yes, that kind of gives it away.
But yes, I was a bit of a theater kid. I didn't get to participate all the time in theater. I did take drama classes in school. I very much enjoyed musicals
Hmm.
and whatnot. Um, Also, well, from theater kid to voice actor, that's a
Yeah.
definite pipeline there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there is. It is, and given today's technology, certainly you have a better chance to succeed and do something in the industry now than people would 20, 25 years ago, because now you can stay at home and do it.
Oh
and
yeah.
and there's a big difference in having to move to California or New York or wherever you're doing the audio to do something
Mm.
like this. Um, so how did you get to the from there to doing some voice acting work?
Okay, so I think I mentioned that I was a jack of all trades.
Uh huh.
So way back when, I used to watch anime. I feel like everybody that's in the VTubing community watched anime at a point.
Yes.
So huge relatable point right there.
Yeah.
Um, would always voice act like what other people had already voice acted. So for example, like I think it's like a stim or something like that.
Mhm.
Um, was it JoJo Part 6?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like I even do it like in recent times. JoJo Part 6 came out, and but what line did I always say afterward? Yare yare da, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like so just imagine me as like a smaller person would like watch cartoons and say things just like that. Same
Yeah.
cadence and everything. Same thing for musicals. Uh, would try to sing Phantom of the Opera, do all of these things. My family never really built on that,
Yeah.
which I will say is like uh I feel like is my biggest gripe about life, but there's a lot of things that I would do that my family wouldn't build on, so I would try and find ways to build on it myself.
Right. Right. And
So
you found your own way to express yourself eventually.
pretty much, and that's how I got into voice acting because you could do it from anywhere and any way
Hmm. And so
after a certain point. So yeah,
so you got into it, but how did you get into it? Did you look for parts? Did you do open auditions or how?
I just kind of stumbled into it, if I'm being honest. uh,
It worked.
like it definitely very much worked. Because well, what was it? I was just sitting around at a party with a couple of people,
Hmm.
and there were also a bunch of theater kids. Some of them have parts on Broadway,
Hmm.
which is insane to think about. But yeah, but we only know each other through like professional means, so they don't know about the VTubing
Ah,
thing.
yes. It's still
I
our
can't
secret
let
at the
people.
moment. Yes.
I am a secret, but
Yeah.
but we were all just sitting at this party. We were all just doing. They wanted to like just practice things with me because they were like, "You're interested in acting too? Like, let's see what you can do." And I'm just like, "Okay." They're they're like, "You really like put down the vocals for." the parts that we ask you to do. So I'm just like, yeah. And they've suggested like voice acting. And lo and behold, I'm like going in random places and just, saying the lines that I need to say and doing whatever I need to do. And like right now I'm putting together like a demo reel. I think I'm supposed to record a full demo reel uh by late December, early January. So
Cool.
we'll see how that goes, and I'll be applying for parts more focused in a more focused fashion, I should say. So
Hey,
stuff like that.
that's great. So you're gonna, yeah, definitely the focus is gonna make a difference because now you can try to apply to the parts that you think that you'll be able to do rather than kind of shotgun shot it.
Oh
And
yeah, no,
although
it's very weird
you
to
know
like shotgun
yeah,
parts.
it is, but there are some folks who are able to who have got some great parts out of blind auditions. Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah, have you been able to do some of those?
yeah, a few. I feel like the biggest one is one that I'm waiting on right now. I don't know if I'm going to get a part, but I did audition for four characters for this one game that's
Mm,
supposed to come out in 2025.
cool.
Who knows?
Mm.
If I get it, I get it. If I don't, hey, I tried.
Well, you could be the new voice of Mario. I'm hoping not giving things away. Mario and Luigi and Waluigi. That's pretty good threesome of parts there for
Oh yeah, no.
you.
I'm totally the next Sonic the Hedgehog. Actually, it's actually Shadow that I'm doing.
That's right. Nobody wants to do Sonic. Everybody wants to do Shadow.
Because he
That.
loves Latinas,
That's
Sonic.
right. And who doesn't? The who,
Hey
who
man,
doesn't for crying out loud? Um,
you're never gonna find me not loving them,
that's
okay?
right. That's right. Uh, the uh, the VTuber part of what you're doing. What drew you into first of all streaming in the first place?
I used to stream way back when I was like still in high school
Hmm.
at a point,
Yeah.
which was like kind of crazy to think about. But if you're familiar with the title Monster Hunter World,
Yes, I am.
oh my God, well, when it came out, I did a 100-hour grind. Nobody saw it.
Whoa.
100-hour grind right on the stream. I had just graduated, I believe, from high school,
Yeah.
and I was doing events already, and like I already had the spirit of a streamer. I just didn't have the audience.
Oh, there you
So
go.
it's just like, oh well, I'm doing this 100-hour grind. I'm doing all, and it was on and off for a couple years until the pandemic, and then it's when I like really just started like unironically locking in.
As this, oh well, all of a sudden I guess I've got nothing else to do. Let's lock that sucker in there.
I played the dry seasons of Overwatch 1. It was
Oh,
great.
oh,
Did the last bits of Monster Hunter World, also good.
yeah.
I think I did a couple other games. Witcher 3, definitely. And Neverwinter. Just
Excellent.
like,
I mean, these are not your low key type of games that you're streaming here.
oh yeah, definitely not.
This is not your Stardew Valley stream. These are so. What brings you to those types of games to stream? What is catches your fancy about them?
For Witcher, I read the books. I was always a fan, avid.
Hmm.
Played 1 and 2 back when we had a computer to play on. Uh, 3 was immaculate in terms of like what was out during the day of when it first came out. I think it was like 2015.
Hmm.
Like I don't think we had any other narrative stories like Witcher 3 at the time. Uh, Very much loved monsters, as you can see from the 100-hour Monster Hunter grind.
That's
So I'm
right.
like, yeah, this works.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's definitely that's an indicator right there. Yes. uh,
What do you do in this game? You hunt monsters? Say no more.
eh,
I'm there.
that's it. Yes. Yes. Give me weapons, give me armor, and give me monsters to kill. I'm all set.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, big kaiju fan.
as long as it's not Gamera. Gamera is for the children. Um,
Oh yeah.
yes, it's my wife and I sat and watched all the Gamera movies one day because we were really bored, but we could talk nothing about but with our friends about Gamera for days.
Oh, the
And they're like,
camera
what?
is immaculate,
They're
peak,
looking like, what are you even talking about? A flying turtle from outer space. What do you think we're talking
and
about?
it's the cutest thing in the world.
Yes, yes, and he's for the children. So you know,
Exactly.
what can be better? Except when he wasn't for the children, like in number one and some of the other movies. But
I mean, yeah, but like we don't talk about that.
everybody's got their dark side. Everybody's got their dark side.
He's just having a bad day.
Well, yeah. I mean, really, it was the people's fault. They were in the way. That's
Exactly. It's always somebody else's fault.
that's
It's never
right.
is.
You're catching on quick. So when once you got started with the model and you got things rolling, did it take you very long to be comfortable in that particular role?
Well, what helps is I made my first model.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're familiar, I think you've interviewed other VTubers. I think they might have brought up this software called Vroid.
Right. Yes.
Okay, so I basically made mine through Vroid and used what was it, Live 3D?
Mm-hmm.
So that was like how I first got into it. I was already comfortable because like I knew it basically tells you what your model's capable of doing. So I knew what my model was capable of doing. I knew how to use the software that I was introduced to, and it kind of made things easier because
Yeah.
it was just really, really fun. And um, let's see, I also had a really good mod.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So, even when I was uncomfortable, uh, I don't know, I didn't really feel it as much.
Yeah.
He came in a little later,
Yeah.
but he was really nice, um, for the most part. So I can't really complain.
They're nice for the most part.
For
There's
the most part, he used to poke fun at me in chat, but
yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah. Well, you take the the thorns with the rose every once in a while. it,
I feel
it
like that's every friendship. You have to like get a little
yeah, you
get a little tease.
give it a little bit. But that I don't think people make enough important statements about having a good mod in their chat. Um, it,
Oh
it
no.
it does free you up to do a lot of things if you can fully trust them and they've really got your channel's best intentions. That is invaluable, isn't it?
No, very much so. Like I may not act like it all the time, but like without my mod, I don't think I would really have that great of a channel because at first I had a lot of bots
Mm.
and he like at first asked to just be mod so he could like, clear my chat, which was like very odd because I hadn't seen the man in like forever. So I'm just like, all right, I haven't talked to you since like high school. Okay, go ahead,
I'm glad you're
do
making
what you want.
yourself useful in my life for once. Go ahead.
Don't let him hear that. No, but it was just odd. I don't like because it did feel like he came out of nowhere. I don't know. Like
Mm.
I didn't think he even followed my channel, but
Mm.
apparently he did.
Yeah,
It was really strange,
yeah.
but I felt like I welcomed it. It was
Oh,
lovely.
oh yeah,
He offered
absolutely.
his help, and I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, once I figure out how to mod you, I'm sure. That was like a huge thing. I
Yeah,
didn't know how to mod people back then.
yeah, yeah. And then if you get some folks doing it, you don't know how much power to give them and how much to do you want the full power on who gets the ban hammer or who gets to stay or that
Oh yeah.
or you leave it all to them so you can play your game, especially the games you're playing. How
Oh
how
yeah, no, definitely.
how do you keep that up and keep chat involved?
Um, it's a little bit hard, I won't lie.
Well,
Because I'm still like a baby VTuber.
mm-hmm,
So I will say like I have ADHD,
mm-hmm,
so I will get very focused on my game. If I am playing like Reinhardt on Overwatch,
right.
I am Reinhardt on Overwatch.
I
I can't
am
lie.
Reinhardt.
I am Reinhardt. If I go back to spawn, I'll read chat. I'm a fast reader, so like it helps.
Yeah.
So I go back, read chat, and I'm like, yep, this is everything I need to respond to. I respond how I respond. Sometimes I respond twice
Mm.
to like a question, which is crazy.
It's like if
I'll
you give the
like,
same answer, that's okay. If you give different answers, then there's a problem.
oh yeah, no, it's usually the same answer. I'm just like, yep. It's like a deja vu moment every time. I'm like, wait a minute, did I answer this?
Well, that means whoever gives you the question has to give up twice the number of bits.
I wish.
They
That'd be
got a
lovely.
they got a 2 for 1 on that one.
Exactly.
There
I love it.
ain't no coupons in this industry, folks.
Definitely not.
Um,
They didn't even give me a coupon for my new model.
that's true. That's true. But so has it been comfortable with you with your chat and what type of audience are you building right now? And are you happy with it?
I'm looking for an audience that's I like nerds, which is like probably like obvious, but like I like nerds. I like when people who know the game talk to me about the game that I'm
Yeah,
playing.
yeah, yeah,
Like if you could tell me like, hey man, here's like the greatest strat ever, take it if you'd like.
yeah,
I'm okay with that. I
yeah.
love that.
Eh,
I don't like backseat gamers, but like I like people that are trying to be helpful. That
yeah,
like they ask them.
yeah.
Um,
Would you like a little tip on this? Sure.
yeah,
I've been hitting this wall with a stick now for 3 hours. I would like a tip.
like if I think what was it? I was playing Sulfur. It's like this little. I feel like it's like roguelike, but like it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like a dungeon crawl, and like,
Mm-hmm.
and you basically. I've beat the boss, and I'm here like, okay, what now? Apparently, like an elevator came down behind me. I didn't even know. They're like, there's an elevator there, and I'm like, oh, thank you, helpful. Love you guys.
Stand there and just wait. How come the closing credits aren't rolling? Did I
Like,
win?
huh?
Start
Do
looking.
I do I teleport back to the front now? Like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah. It's I beat the bad guy, right? It'd be one of
Or am
those.
I now the new bad guy?
Well, it's like one of those old games from the NES days where just say, "Congratulations, you win," and then then back to
Yeah,
the title screen.
I'm so used to that.
Thanks for
Um,
100 hours on this game. You win. Back to the title screen. Do it. Do
oh,
it.
I wish. I wish there was like that in Monster Hunter.
Well, I the first game I really, I'm very old, so bear with me on this when it comes to games. But I
Okay.
actually beat Super Mario 1 um, at 4 o'clock in the morning uh, after an all night. Because in a game like that, you get the patterns down. You just have to keep going, otherwise you're not going to win.
Oh
Um,
yeah, it's like a speed run. I've
yeah,
I've done it before.
yeah.
I haven't done it since like forever though.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I was really thrilled with this. I called friends up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they hated me for a long time for doing that. Um, but I won the game, and then you get to. I don't think a lot of people realize this. You keep going, and the game gets much harder.
Yeah.
The mushrooms turn to those little um, black helmeted things, and that's all you have the rest of the time. I was able to get to the
Mm.
final 2 screens immediately afterwards, and I could have found out what happens on the third time you get through, except I fell in the hole.
Oh,
And I was like, "Oh, that's the most disgusting thing ever." But that's
oh my God.
the fact that you get to complete a game and then go on and find other things. Um, I don't think that ever gets old for anybody.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
Yeah, especially when you put that much time and effort into it. And believe me, I didn't spend
There's
like 100 hours on on beating it. Just a few. Uh, I can't imagine sitting there waiting for the what what's happening here? Why isn't there celebration or something anyway? At the end of the game. Uh,
definitely.
so have you got any? What's the game you're really rolling on right now?
There's a few actually.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Game Awards too, so
Yeah.
a bunch just randomly magically got on my list before this interview. So, um, which is great for me, so I
Yeah.
could yap longer. Uh, I was already looking forward to Mecha Break because they invited me to New York Comic Con to
Oh,
like experience their game and be at their
cool.
booth.
Cool, cool,
Great
cool.
game. I love mechs, by the way. If I didn't give off the vibe that I liked mechs and giant kaiju, well, hey, here's the indicator.
Yeah.
Love mechs. Mecha Break. They're supposed to come out in 2025 or have maybe another beta test.
Yeah.
Not sure when, but I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
It's
you had asked me about this maybe like when did they come out? Like almost 2 weeks ago. I was definitely like waiting for Marvel Rivals. That's dropped. I love it. Um, hmm,
any
Okami.
Okami. Oh yeah, that really does. And when I saw that first come out, and the style that was used in that was just amazing. It's so different, and I'm kind of surprised that more games didn't try something like that.
Oh yeah, no. I love when games have a different art style
Hmm.
than other games because it's like, oh, something refreshing.
Yeah.
And then the absolute smoothness of the game.
Hmm.
From what I remember, it was smooth. I know, like, we all have that nostalgia trip where everything is absolutely perfect. I'd
Yes.
have to probably go back and play the game and see if it's as good as I remember it, but I remember it being extremely smooth. I
Yeah.
remember enjoying all the simplicities, all the colors. It
Yeah.
was lovely.
Yeah. And it was simple, but it was also exotic. I think is how I would use. Um,
Yeah, it
it,
was.
it maybe that's a weird word to use in that situation, but it by its definition being a different sort of art style, um, just that alone created so many new different landscapes and backgrounds that people hadn't seen before.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. I remember it.
Yeah, and of course the gameplay has to be good too. I mean, it could be pretty looking and end up being
It's fluid for me.
a card game or something that you know
Yeah,
that you don't necessarily like. But everybody, I think a lot of people are looking forward to this coming up again, and to see what they were able to do with that art style and whether they continue with it or I hope they're able to continue with it and advance it. Um,
oh yeah, no, without a doubt. I think with today's technology, I think it should come out even smoother
yeah,
than before. I can't wait to see how like all of the paint looks and what it's gonna be amazing for
yeah.
me.
So, what do you think about the trend of games over, especially this last couple of years, of instead of coming out with a new game in the franchise, they come up with new scenarios to add to the games you already have instead?
I I like it, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of those scenarios could have been just included. Like I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, I miss when games came out as the full game."
Hmm.
So I'm not necessarily a fan of DLC unless there's a certain size to it
Hmm.
and is actually expansive on the base game.
Right,
I think things like uh what was it? I feel like Cyberpunk 2077's updates were good
right,
going forward because we had the fiasco when it first came out, and
right,
then it became smoother and smoother as time went on. They
right.
had good expansive updates. I believe the DLC for things like Bloodborne,
Hmm.
those were expansive on the original game.
Right.
DLCs like Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Mm.
I feel like it wasn't as good
Yeah,
as compared to Bloodborne. Because whereas you had something expansive, you had something that was a little bit expansive, but considering how much more they had, so much so that they had to make another Elden Ring, I
yeah,
feel like that could have just also been a DLC, like
yeah.
instead of having two separate games
Right,
in the DLC,
right. Well, you look at
which makes
yeah, you look at some of the games like Diablo, um, which the originals ended up with like Diablo Hellfire or something was added, like Diablo 2,
yeah,
that sort of thing. That it really did help expand the lifetime of those games being be picked up. But then you also look like you look at a game like a Genshin Impact, which is I think 140 years old at this point.
Oh
but
yeah.
but they keep coming up with new stuff and people get playing it. I imagine that will work for that type of a game because what how can you really create a Genshin Impact 2? Uh,
That, and I think it was free when I
yeah,
first downloaded it
yeah,
8,000 years ago.
yeah. So I mean, it'd be pretty tough to come up with a whole new reason for those characters to exist. It's pretty expansive by
Yeah.
this point. Um,
That and like the price tags.
hmm,
Like I feel like if I'm paying $70 to $80 for a game, and like if we're being very honest, it's definitely like in the 70 to 80 range, and sometimes in the hundreds if you're getting like premium stuff.
oh yeah,
Um, I think, people should get DLC for free or, whatever. Like if it's like part of the original game plan and whatnot. I know like a lot of people are like, oh, but what about the payment for these people and the game devs and all this other stuff? And I'm like, don't worry. I very much believe in everybody getting their fair pay.
hmm,
But I also believe in being fair to the consumers, the supporters of your game.
yeah, yeah,
Like if you know people are going to play your game, if you know people genuinely have a love for your game, some things should be free. I'm not saying make everything free. It depends on the game and how intense and heavy it is.
yeah, yeah. Well,
But
the
like if you
the
hmm?
the fellow from Stardew Valley has been really good with that stuff. So,
Oh yeah, no.
yeah,
That's without a doubt. Stardew Valley is goated.
yeah. You're talking to a guy with 30 save files in Stardew Valley. So,
My
um,
goodness, I only have like one and I've just spent a long time on it.
oh yeah. And when I try to explain to people, when the first time I played Stardew Valley, you couldn't marry all the people that you can marry now.
Yeah, that's true.
So it
I
was,
got into it very late.
yeah. Well, I mean, he keeps updating it, and the game changes when he does the updates, and it keeps it fresh, and
Yeah, no,
and
fine. It's pretty good.
yeah, and but you also look at a game like the Fallout New Vegas, where I think the
Mhm.
DLCs saved the game in a lot of ways, or certainly No Man's Sky. Um, that was such a disappointment that the additions have made it a viable game for everybody,
Yeah,
for some
which is
people.
like almost insane.
Yeah. So for some people, your mileage may vary. So
Definitely.
yeah. So what have you got planned coming up? Have you got any big plans for the new year?
For the new year, I am debuting a new model. Um,
Yes.
not like New Year's Day, unfortunately, but
Well.
um, I am planning on debuting a new model. Pushing for more consistent uploads, more consistent content creation.
Yeah.
It'll be me mostly doing the editing because it was me solo editing before.
Yeah.
But life gets in the way.
Now, of course, stupid life.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I don't know, if I got paid for this, I would totally like do it all the time. I wouldn't care. But unfortunately, I have bills to pay. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah. There is that.
Um, just pushing for more of that. I am pushing for more vocal work.
Mm.
Definitely more uh the song stuff.
Yeah.
I do want to go back to like making music. I haven't made music in quite some time.
Yeah. I want to see some song covers. I want to hear because your voice is very unique. Um. And I want to hear that how that translates over into music.
Honestly, I have that curiosity, and a lot of people have that curiosity. Um, so I think I want to try in order to like, really experiment, have that under the belt. If it works out really well, it works out really well.
Hmm.
If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like, I'm just here, just trying to like do whatever I can. Uh, this economy is in shambles. I might as well try to do what I want.
Yeah. And enjoy yourself.
Yeah, it's if I can sing, I can sing. If I can't, well, we go and try the next thing.
Yeah. Yes. If I tried to sing, the entire internet would close. So I'm not going to do that. Um. And I don't want.
I don't.
I don't want
It
to.
takes a little bit of training. I think anybody could sing.
Well, it would take a lot of training, and I'm already been around this planet long enough to where I don't know if I have enough time left to train to get it done right. This,
Yeah, you gotta believe in yourself.
yeah, I know this. I haven't hit a note on purpose since 1985.
Well, that is older than me.
Yes, and even then, the only notes I have hit are when I've hit my knee on something.
Oh,
Yeah, perfect C.
oh,
that's that's
oh
that.
no!
How did that happen?
Perfect
Um,
C for your hurt knees.
yeah, that's right. Quick, hit him again.
No!
Get this recorded. It'll never happen again. It
Oh no!
absolute pleasure talking with you, Anastasia, and I really do hope this new year gets you what you want as far as the channel goes and everything else too. Because
Oh yeah, hoping for a viral video or two. Hoping.
I mean it just sounds like you're enjoying yourself with it, and you've got a really good mindset for what you
Ah,
want to do, and
thank you.
that's always the biggest important thing. If you're happy with it, then good for you. If you're not happy with it, find something else. Uh, but
Yeah,
uh,
pretty much.
but you got to let us know what's going on and keep us updated. When you
Oh, of
get
course.
some big things coming up, let us know because I would like to have you back again, please.
Oh, really? Okay, sure. Anytime. Just ask. I don't care.
Thanks for coming on.
Of course, anytime.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.